And welcome to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Winter hoops coming your way from one of the most historic venues in college basketball, EA Diddle Arena. The WKU Hilltoppers welcome the Tulsa Golden Hurricane for a marquee non-conference matchup. This team 18-5 at home in 2 years under head coach Hank Plona. But Craig McCormick, when we talk about teams that are playing well and putting up good records, you got to talk about this Tulsa Golden Hurricane team off of their best starts since the 1999-2000 season when they went all the way to the Elite Eight under head coach Bill Self.
Yeah, that's quite a coach there. You know, and they also had a string of some other good coaches that followed in behind that. But, you know, this Tulsa squad, they have really turned it around this year in Coach Conkel's fourth season at the helm. Bringing 11 new players in and really molded them quickly.
And so much of the success starts with the efficiency they have had on offense. They lead the American in every shooting percentage out there, and it all starts with Tylen Riley and what he's been able to do moving over to the point guard spot. Without Terrence Ford Jr., a star transfer coming in, it's been Riley who has run the show.
And he's done a great job coming off of 29 points his last game, but it's not only his scoring, but he's a distributor of the ball too.
WKU, a very balanced offensive team. Really every 3 or 4 games, it seems like the hot hand has shifted. As of late, it's been Ryan Myers. He's led them in scoring in 3 straight, averaging now 15 points per game over the last 5.
Yeah, he stepped up, you know, with Terry Murdoch's going down. He's filled that role really well for Western Kentucky.
WKU, one of the fastest teams in the country when it comes to pace, the 14th most possessions per game. Tulsa, 235th in the country in that regard. Meanwhile, the Hilltoppers, you know they're going to want to get to the free throw line. That's what they do amongst the best in the country. Meanwhile, Tulsa near the top of the country, they don't foul hardly at all. And as the starting lineups wrap up, worth noting today for WKU, a team trying to find what the answer is going to be down low. They're without leading rebounder, Bryant Silabonge, who had been coming off the bench anyways, but they've been rotating a couple big men. Blaze Cada, we've seen start down low. Leroy Odiai, who has history with head coach Hank Plona. Tonight they're going to turn it over to the big man transfer coming in from LSU, Noah Boyd, coming off a career game last time out for WKU with 13 points and 7 rebounds against Campbellsville. He'll tip it for the Hilltoppers in this one, and it's going to be a big night, a lot of pressure, it feels like, on the shoulders of Boyd, with WKU really missing Silabonge out for the rest of the season with an Achilles injury.
Yeah, that's a big loss for Western Kentucky University with Silabonge. Tremendous offensive rebounder. Now we're going to have to see how Boyd steps up in his game.
Well, he wins the tip, and the Hilltoppers will get it started. Leading scorer Tegan Moore brings it across half court for WKU, averaging 17.5 points per game. Up top into the hands of Hackman. Drives right, stops. To Newell. Now they shift it over to Myers. Ball moving quickly around the perimeter. Back outside, Newell for 3. Hot start for the Hilltoppers.
Well, and he's one of those shooters for Western Kentucky that needed that first one to go down for him.
Newell averaging 10.5 points per game. In their 3 losses, he scored just 13 total points. WKU 6-0 when Newell hits double figures. And he gives the Hilltoppers a 3-0 lead early on. Ball left side into the hands of Tylen Riley, the leading scorer, by just a 1/10 of a point. As it back up top, guarded by Hackman. WKU brought him in for his defense in particular. Now it goes out on the left side, 3-point. That one misses short iron for Barron, but an offensive rebound keeps it with the Golden Hurricane. Riley drives right side into Newell, slips up, and it's recovered by Tyler Barron. The 6'10 junior will have a lot to say about in a moment. Right side 3-pointer off the mark, and the rebound pulled down by Boyd.
Good defensive start for Western Kentucky. 2 possessions.
Especially against the Tulsa team shooting 40% from 3-point range. That's tops in the American conferences. Riley is able to knock it out of bounds on the far side.
Well, defensively, Western Kentucky was doing a good job of, they're basically switching on any kind of ball screen or reversal by Tulsa at this point.
Tulsa top 20 in the country in 3-point percentage. WKU, meanwhile, second to last in Conference USA in 3-point percentage allowed so far this season. Newell fakes from up top, left elbow jumper on the way, contested well, misses, and a foul called on the floor. That's going to go against Tulsa, going for the rebound. I think they're going to get that one on David Green, the transfer Spent a year or a couple years at Rhode Island after 2 at Louisiana Tech with now head coach Eric Conkle here at Tulsa.
I think he got switched off on Boyd, and he was trying to keep the larger Boyd away.
Moore goes right into the body of the much larger Popolo, and he scores with ease.
Well, that's part of Tegan Moore's game right there, is he's always the aggressor offensively, leaning in quite a bit, goes to the line about 8 foul shots per game.
He's 18th in the country and makes it the stripe per game as another physical try comes on the other end. Riley banks it up and in to put Tulsa on the board. Now 5-2 WKU leading a couple minutes in here from Diddle Arena. Myers out top. Transfer from Western Illinois has been the hot hand as of late. To Newell, right side. Hackman beats Riley initially. Help comes. Now to Boyd. And they'll reset with 10 on the shot clock. Trying to spring Myers open. Now stuck. Sends it back over to Newell. Fakes again on the floor. 3 on the shot clock. Tied up. Fantastic defensive possession from Tulsa. They don't force the shot clock violation, but they get the turnover anyway with the jump ball.
Yeah, Green very aggressive, you know, and just Newell showed the ball to him, and he took advantage of it, taking it away or tying it up.
Mentioned Green and his history as we see Miles Barnstable for a moment go out, lost to contact it looks like. And he's somebody you want to make sure has both contacts in. A 45% three-point shooter, leads all qualified shooters in the American Conference in that department with 29 threes made. That's top 5 in the conference. And boy, I'll tell you this, if you're WKU, you don't hope to get an example of it, but he can fly up around the rim as well. As we get back underway, Papola has it on the left side to Riley, now up top to Green. Puts it on the floor against Tegan Moore, has the size advantage. Won't take advantage as it's knocked away, and diving to save it is Newell. Here comes Moore the other way. Up ahead, Boyd chases it down and does step on the baseline. Did his best to tiptoe it like a football player streaking for a touchdown, but couldn't stay in.
Well, and sometimes, you know, Tegan Moore trying to learn how to play with Boyd, because at this point, you know, he's throwing it to a much taller player there that hasn't played a lot of minutes for Western Kentucky, but you got to know when and where to throw the ball to another player.
Green holds it up top, left side to Barron. David Green driving left to right, kick out, right side, three-pointer on the way. That one's short off the hand of Miles Rigsby, who came in as Barnstable went to the bench with the contact issue. And Moore brings it up on the left side to Boyd, puts it on the floor, was trying to throw it to Hackman, but he was wrapping to the top of the key. Coming the other way, contact as Hackman picks up the foul against Papola.
Yeah, Tulsa had a nice 2-on-1 going on that after the steal and takeaway. You thought Boyd was going to come in here and maybe have a chance for a block shot, but the reach-in occurred first.
Ade Papola, originally from St. Louis, transferred in from Moberly area Community College. Was ranked as the number 7 JUCO transfer in this latest class, averaging just over 9 points per game on the season. A 79% free throw shooter, right at the team mark for Tulsa. Again, I mentioned it during the open. Every shooting percentage statistic, they have the top team in the American Conference. Just under 80% as a team as he makes both, and it's a 1-point game.
You know, and talk about Coach Conkle here, blending all 11 new players together this year in such a short order of time. The 3 prior years, Coach Conkle was only 34 and 60, so he's done a phenomenal turnaround job so far this year.
Armello Boone lost it for WKU, the freshman sensation, and it goes back to Tulsa. Golden Hurricanes still trailing by 1. If you're Coach Hank Plona, delighted with the defense so far from his Hilltoppers. Green holds up top and hands it off to Papola. Got Newell in the air for a second with the fake. Now back outside Riley. 10 on the shot clock. With a pick and roll action. Shields off. Runner swishes it home.
Nice play. Just that little mid-range floater there.
Couple baskets for Riley. And Tulsa takes the early lead. Newell wraps. Myers fakes. Now pulls from the mid-range. That one misses long. Moore skies in to get the rebound but couldn't control it. And it's out of bounds back to Tulsa. WKU came out with the momentum early on to start this ball game, but Tulsa doing what they have done time after time after time early on this season, weathering the immediate storm. The Golden Hurricane looking to build on their historic 10-1 start to the season. Early on, they lead at 6-5 over WKU here inside Diddle Arena. Riding a 7-game winning streak, tied for the longest of head coach Eric Konkel's career here with the Golden Hurricane now as he comes in after 7 years at Louisiana Tech, was the Conference USA Coach of the Year back in 2021. The record kind of deceiving, 44-61 overall at Tulsa, won 153 games in those 7 seasons at Louisiana Tech. Now comes back here to what he would probably call home, started his coaching career as a student with the Golden Hurricane. And on the other side, second-year head coach Hank Plona, coming off a historic run of his own at Indian Hills Community College, 8 seasons there, 225 wins to just 35 losses. Here at WKU, 24-18 over the last couple of years, and really searching for, Craig, a signature win early on into his tenure.
He is. Last year was his first year at the helm, and he kind of got a late start on recruiting and then had a lot of injuries. So, he was really looking forward to this year's squad.
First three-pointer let go by Barnstable, misses off the front iron, and it's rebounded by Newell. Here comes WKU with the electric Boyd. He holds it on the right wing. Now goes back up top, Newell. Into the corner, Myers. WKU without their starting point guard, Terrian Murdix. And their leading rebounder, Bryant Silabonge. Down low, Newell turns, fakes once, stuck on the block against Romad Dean. The 6'7 senior ends up outside, three-pointer miss, but an offensive rebound for Newell. Outside, more quick trigger. Rattles all the way around and off, and it's rebounded down low by Schmeichel, who's able to save it in, and here comes Tulsa the other way with Riley. He's been the main engine so far. 4 of their 6 points. Both buckets from that 8 to 10 foot area. He's got it again, guarded outside by Boone. Spins, stops, fires. Same distance, same result. 6 already in this one for Riley.
You can see where he likes to get his sweet spot is right there into the paint area.
Averaging 14.6 points per game, averages 7.5 last year at Cal Baptist, then exploded over the last 10 games, averaging over 13, and caught the eye of Coach Konkel. And Tulsa's right side three-pointer buried off the hand of Newell. He has been the offense early on for WKU with a couple of shots from outside.
Yep, couple threes.
A welcome sight, shooting 32% from outside on the season, scored in double figures 4 straight games to start the season, just 2 out of the last 6. Deep three-point heat check missed by Riley. Here comes Moore quickly the other way. WKU top 20 in the nation in pace. Moore takes the contact, scores the basket, and WKU back out in front.
Well, Riley had a chance to close out and eliminate that gap for Tegan Moore, but he never showed all the way.
Ball goes into the right corner. Clean look for 3. Rattles every part of the rim and falls out. Rigsby couldn't get it to go. Myers, Newell, drives, fakes, now gives it up to Boone. Nice ball fake to get inside, beats 2 defenders, can't score on the 3rd. Couldn't pat in his own putback, was playing a game of tips by himself. And here comes Tulsa the other way with Rigsby. Left corner, Barnstable has it knocked away. And they're just gonna say, I think that was knocked out of bounds.
It really wasn't a firm call one way or another, was it?
WKU fans reacted like it was a foul call, and I think for a moment that Myers thought the same thing. I think it was just ruled that it was knocked out of bounds there.
That one was hard to see. Almost looked like it came off of a foot.
Regardless, it'll stay with Tulsa. And Coach Plona is going to get a review on that. I think he saw the same thing that you did. There's potential there that it might have clipped the foot. We didn't have the greatest angle, at least in real speed, whether or not that was going to be the case. So we'll get a second look at it as WKU leads 10-8. Just under 7 minutes into this one, a Tulsa team averaging 90 points per game. We'll see if we can get a better angle here. Hard to tell, really, and fortunate there that Barnstable didn't roll his ankle.
It was a reach-in by the Western Kentucky player to knock it loose.
Tough to tell if it was even originally touched. I think that might be the review in this case, if Myers even hit the basketball. Again, tough to tell from that angle. I think it's one of those football reviews where I don't know if there's anything that you could say that's conclusive there.
No, and I just hope it's one of those things that they make a decision and move on.
Does give us a chance to talk about Ryan Myers. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast how well he's been playing as of late for WKU, now up to averaging 10 points per game on the season. Leads the Hilltoppers with 22 three-pointers made at a 46% clip, and 14 of those have come over the last 3 games. 14 of 23 from outside. It's been a couple years at Western Illinois after a season at Indian Hills with now WKU head coach Hank Plona. And after review, whether it be because of the foot or because Myers didn't touch it in the first place, it's going to be WKU basketball.
Good review call by Hank Plona.
And a bad call by us.
It was hard for us to see because it's the nearest side of us, and we can't even see the sideline out of bounds here.
Boone brings it up, functioning as the point guard with this lineup in. Moore trying to spring free, now gets it off the screen from Louis Simona, in for the first time for WKU. Boone baseline, bumps, stops, goes down low. Boyd looks both ways, now kicks it out to Myers, 10 on the shot clock. Double screen. Myers nearly runs in to Boone, now fires up the 3. What a tray!
Continuing some of that hot shooting he's been on. You mentioned it before with the 3-point attempts.
13-8 WKU all of a sudden on an 8-0 run over the last minute and a half. A foul called away from the ball. This time they are going to get it on Myers, trying to fight through and keep up with Barnstable, which is a tall task. They run so much off-ball action to try to spring him open on the 3-point line.
Well, and Michael, you know, he's a pretty good-sized body in there trying to set those screens out there.
WKU brings in some reinforcements. As Hefner comes in for the first time, and Hackman checks back in. Left side, 3-pointer off the heel, missed off the hand of Jaden Lawal, the freshman from Plano, Texas. And tripped up trying to bring it up was Hackman. That'll be on Miles Grigsby. Not a trip, just bumped him, and Hackman just kind of collapsed like he'd been tripped up. I think sold that contact pretty well. Hefner comes to get it up top. Evansville transfer averaging 6 points per game. He's made multiple threes in 6 of his last 8 games. Right side, spinning jumper, missed short by Hackman, but an offensive rebound chased down by Boone. Now kick out, quick trigger 3 on the way. Good from Simona.
Boy, Simona didn't waste any time taking that 3.
4 for 6 from 3-point range to start this ball game, and it's going to force a timeout from Tulsa head coach Eric Conkle. An 11-0 run for the Hilltoppers against the 10-1 Golden Hurricane. We said it earlier. Hank Plona looking for a signature win in a signature place for WKU. They lead it at home, 16-8. 16-8, WKU leading Tulsa early on. The Hilltoppers, if you came into this game and had to place a bet of who would make more 3-pointers in this game, full odds would be on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. It's WKU that's had the advantage in that department. Simona with the latest one. WKU already 4 for 6 from outside. A Tulsa team on the season amongst the leaders in the country. Top 15 in 3-pointers made, top 20 in 3-point percentage. 0 for 7 from outside so far in this ball game.
And as we were talking at break, you know, that Tulsa has had some open looks. They're just missing them at this point. You know, you have to give credit to Western Kentucky. I think Hank Plona really wanted to see a better defensive consistency effort out of his ball club. He saw that against an inferior opponent the other night, Campbellsville, but he liked the mechanisms that they played with the other night.
As we get back underway, Dean has it up top, gives it to Lawal. To Michael, now holding it back to Lawal, left side 3, drains it home, and there's the answer for Tulsa in the form of the freshman from Plano.
Right on cue, right? Talk about them not hitting any, and the next thing you know, they get that first one down.
16-11 now. Boone holds it in the corner. They try to spring Simona open, but Tulsa all over it. Boone just goes all the way to the rack, draws contact, and he'll go to the line. 4-2 will be the first 2 free throw attempts of this game for WKU. I mean, so far, Craig, everything that we've seen would flip basically everything that you expected to happen in this ball game on its head.
Yeah, because Western Kentucky gets to the line They have 21 makes at the free throw line each game, and they're very aggressive trying to create that contact. You know, and Boone, being a freshman, he's been conference player, freshman of the year three times, but he is not afraid to shoot. You know, he will come out and put the ball up.
I was going to leave it at you saying Conference USA Freshman of the Year 3 times, but I've got to note how impressive it is to win Freshman of the Year 3 times. That's got to be a record.
Yeah, Freshman of the Week. Yeah, I mean, and it's his first season.
And he's done it all in less than half a season.
Good call.
Boone knocks down both free throws, but as you mentioned, WKU, they're top 10 in the country in makes and attempts at the free throw line. Again, those just their first 2 of this ball game. But it's been the three-point shooting for a Hilltopper team, middle of the pack in Conference USA, who started off the season abysmal from outside and have really stepped it up here as of late. Right side, Papola gets to the left block. Now Stuck sends it outside to Green. WKU fans come to life for the defense. Right corner 3 from Barron. That one's short. Moore's going to pick up a foul down low, I think. Yeah, he shoved the freshman Lawal going for that rebound.
Yeah, that was an easy one for the referee to call. He just pushed him in the back. He didn't have the boxing out position and just tried to use a rugby move, I think.
He's one of the more physical players you're going to see, and you get it in every aspect of his game. Trying to seal down low is Green. They can't get it to him, and instead they'll reset up top with 15 on the shot clock. Ball goes into the left corner. Pass was deflected as Green decided just to let it go out of bounds with 9 on the shot clock. It's the 3rd time that Green has faced off against WKU in his career. It's been a couple of years at Louisiana Tech. The first 2 matchups, both in his sophomore season, scored 10 against the Hilltoppers in a Conference USA tournament win. As he feeds it down low, ball stuck there for the moment, fading away, firing, and missing off the hill is Papola. And here comes Newell the other way. He's been active on the boards early on. Newell keeps it himself. Now Stuck, ran into Boyd down there on the block, fighting for the loose ball, but up with it is Papola.
Newell that time just over dribbled and into trouble.
Nearing the halfway point of this opening half. Right side, Green, quick trigger 3, bang. Tulsa heating up from outside, and if you're the Hilltoppers, that's the last thing you want to hear. They've got 4 different players on this team with at least 10 three-pointers made at a 40% or better clip. 6 players with double-digit threes made total. Newell stuck on the elbow, now wraps inside, collects it on the baseline, misses the jumper. And again, here come the Golden Hurricane. They've quickly responded with a run of their own. Papola steps into a 3, knocks it down. And just like that, you see what makes this team so dangerous. WKU, all the momentum going into the last timeout. We're going to stay here as Hank Plona calls one for himself and the Hilltoppers. Now just a 1-point game.
I think they've hit 3 other last 4.
And that one just pure confidence from Papola, one of those guys that I mentioned. 41% shooter from deep on the season. He's now made 24 on the year. You mentioned it. So many new players coming in, 11 newcomers overall, 8 of them transfers. Very early on in the season, Coach Conkle has landed on his rotation of 10 guys that he likes. And this is a team that plays extremely unselfishly. They're amongst the best in the country in assists. They're a top 16 assists per game at 17.2. They don't turn it over much. That's really been the big issue for WKU in this ball game. And really, when you look all season long, that's been the missing piece for the Hilltoppers in their start versus Tulsa, is finding that right blend, what the minutes are going to be, what the groups are going to be out there, and injuries certainly don't help that.
And also, Coach Conkle, he started the same starting lineup all 11 games.
Yeah. Right corner out of the timeout. Newell for 3. Boy, it's been his night so far for WKU.
That is 3rd 3, I think.
Yes. Ball goes onto the right side to Barron. To Barnstable, wraps around. WKU has been all over him, goes back down low to Barron, and he's fouled, but he'll go to the line for 2. Tyler Barron, the 6'10 junior, but don't let the junior label mislead you, as You see the foul again there, just got clipped on the arm by Boone trying to help from behind.
But what I like on that is Barnstable did a great job on the delivering a bounce pass into Barron so he can just catch it and go up.
Barron transferred in after playing 1 year of basketball at Olympic College. That was back in 2021-22.
When?
2021-22.
Okay.
And that year of basketball happened in the middle of a 5-year stint in the U.S. Navy while his boat was docked in Washington to be worked on. And now he's landed here at Tulsa, was with the Golden Hurricane last year, has become a starter for this team this season, grew 4 inches after high school and has really blossomed into a great college basketball player. Boone from the right corner, can't get the three-pointer to go. Here come the Golden Hurricane down by 3. Wall right side, stuck on the elbow, picked up by Hackman. Green drives into Newell, backing him down, tries to wrap it to Barron, it's lost. Hefner couldn't chase it down. Barnstable gets a hard screen from Barron, now wraps it outside to Popola. Inside, beats Boone to the punch and is fouled by Newell at the rim.
Western Kentucky just got lost in their defensive rotation. They were doing a good job of closing out, but Tulsa just kept their dribble going and created the contact.
So Popola, as we mentioned earlier, 79% free throw shooter, will head to the line, makes the first of these two. Tylen Riley will check back in. As good as he is, and we saw that hot start from Riley with a couple of buckets, he only averages around 24 minutes per game, and a lot of that has to do with how much Tulsa's beating teams by. They've been fairly dominant in a good number of their 10 wins up to this point. Another sub will come in after the free throw as Barron comes out, and KJ Martin Jr. checks in for the first time, the 6'8" redshirt freshman from Tampa, Florida. But a lot of the stats would be made even more impressive at an individual level if you had guys playing closer to 30 minutes per game, and there's nobody who's even getting close to that number in this Tulsa lineup, despite the fact they only played 10 guys. Green knocks it away. He wanted it to be out off of Boone. He's not going to get the call, so it'll stay with WKU. Newell out right now for the Hilltoppers. We'll see where the offense comes from. Myers holds it right wing. Hafner catch and shoot 3. Off the left side, but it's rebounded down low by Cada. Back outside, Hafner fires again. That one rattles off, but it's rebounded by Tegan Moore. His putback good.
Tegan Moore is always active around the basketball. He kind of has a nose for it.
With the injury to Silla Bonge, he is WKU's leading rebounder coming into this game, averaging around 5.5 per game, standing 6'5". Left side Popola in traffic. Nice cross-court pass. Here comes Riley inside. He's triple teamed, lost it. Moore wants it from Cada, now gets it. He'll bring it across half court. Hafner has both hands up. Moore's going to keep it himself. Drops it off at the last moment to Boone, and he drops in the 2.
Western Kentucky is having a little bit more success off the dribble the last couple possessions. Tulsa had been doing a great job keeping them out of the lane.
What a find there from Moore in transition. Riley denies the screen, gets to the free throw line, now sends it out left side. Martin fakes the 3, inside, has it swatted away. Boone flew in to send it back. Here comes Moore, leaves it off for the electric Boone, scoops it up, knew it was off, tried to fight for the miss, and a foul called down low as Barnstable was taken off the other way.
Yeah, Boone just got himself out of control on that shot attempt.
WKU has dictated the pace in this game. They want it running up and down and up and down, and that's been the case. 25-20, WKU leads it over Tulsa here inside Diddle. Craig McCormick on the run right now, and Tegan Moore has really been the one to spearhead it.
He sure has. You see the nice dish off to his teammate there, and then a little help defense by Boone coming over, blocking the shot.
Coach Plona stone-faced as always. If there's some emotion there, he'll try as much as he can to hide most of it.
You're saying he's just not a happy guy? Coaches aren't happy.
I'm saying he wouldn't let you know if he was.
Yeah, coaches aren't happy till after the end of the game.
I think he's got to be pretty happy right now with his Hilltoppers, leading it by 5 over this 10-1 Tulsa team. As we get back underway. Right side, Barnstable looking for his first 3 of the night. That one misses off the front iron, and Tegan Moore chases down the rebound. Moore's already got 4 in the ball game. Up top, guarded loosely by David Green. Coach Pono comes in to clear out what was the original play calling. Going to get something else plugged in there with 12 seconds on the shot clock. That's one thing you'll notice with Pono. He's very heavily involved with the half-court offense. As Moore sends it right corner, quick trigger 3, that one off the mark, but it's pulled down on the opposite side by Boone, fighting for it on the floor. Both teams down there. Jump ball is going to be called, and the arrow will keep it with WKU. We've seen Moore fight in there for a couple of rebounds, but that time, I don't know if you'd say Boone fought for it, he flew for it.
He elevated, didn't he? Came in from that weak side and did a great job going up and getting it, but once again, he brought the ball down too low, and Tulsa players were able to tie him up.
Myers will be the one to trigger the inbound. Gets up to Cada, then gets it right back. Shot clock reset, now it's at 15. Hafner turns and fires. That one's short. He's trying to find the mark from deep as well, and here comes Green the other way.
Yeah, 0 for 3 from 3. 47 of his 57 attempts are from three-point range, so that tells you what he wants to do.
Riley drives against Moore, beats into the basket, flips it up and in off the glass. Another impressive one-on-one sequence from Tylen Riley.
He's just under control.
Yeah. He's now got 8 points to lead the way for Tulsa, and efficient as you would expect. 4 for 5 from the floor. The lone miss, a three-pointer from about 4 feet off the line. Moore drives, takes the bump, holds it up on the block, spins through, now floats it, missed it long, and it's going to go out of bounds. They say deflected from behind by Cada.
Tulsa defensively is doing a good job against Tegan Moore because Moore likes to create the contact, but Tulsa defenders are using their body very nicely without using their hands, and the referees are letting them play that way. So as long as they keep it consistent, that's fine.
Cada was the one to come in and try and knock it away. He goes out for WKU. Hafner out of the game as well as Newell and Boyd check back in, the two forwards for WKU. Newell picks up Riley in the front court. Small lineup on the floor for Tulsa. Not a big team anyway. Ball batted around with Popola, but he gets it back to Riley. Now sends it left corner. KJ Martin bodies Boyd. Back to Riley, 5 on the shot clock. Riley guarded by Newell. Fires it into the opposite corner. 1 on the shot clock, and WKU forces the violation.
You know, one thing, watching Newell for WKU out there, he has a long reach out there.
Yeah.
When he extends his arms out, he's deterring quite a few pass opportunities by the Tulsa players. So, you know, give some credit to Newell. He's doing a good job of extending defensively.
Boone brings it across, kicks it left corner. Moore for 3. Rattles off, and rebound deflected, pulled down by Popola. Or excuse me, it was Dean that got that, Romad Dean. As they bring it front court to Riley. Steps over, fires the 3. That one short, but an offensive rebound collected for Martin. Right side, three-pointer on the way. Rattles off again, another offensive rebound pulled down. And a foul going to be called underneath as Dean was the one that came in to get it and then drew the contact as well.
Yeah, it looks like Boyd for Western Kentucky might have taken a shot to his chin.
Omad Dean, the senior originally from the Bahamas, spent 3 years at Fordham. Tulsa, not an elite rebounding team with their size, but they're near the top of the country in rebounding margin at plus 11.5 per game, even though they only average 40 rebounds per game overall, and it's just because, Craig, they hardly miss any shots to give the opposing team any defensive rebounds.
That's true, because they're so efficient offensively.
WKU has the edge in the boards department, 16-13 early on in this game. Neither team efficient. WKU 38% from the floor, Tulsa 35%. And you add that up, and it's just a 1-point lead for WKU now. Moore all the way to the basket, takes contact of his own, and he'll go to the line for 2 more when we come back. It's been a physical game. It's been a sloppy game. It's one of those that you're not going to throw on the tape to impress anybody with just how lights out you're shooting it from anywhere. But it's a game that if you find a way to win, it sticks with you for the rest of the season. Both teams looking for a big-time non-conference win. It's WKU up by 1 late in the first half. Back inside Diddle Arena, Tyler Eaton and Craig McCormick with you as WKU and Tulsa face off for the 7th time all-time. Hilltoppers leading it 25-24. And Craig, as you see there on the bottom of your screen, I threw this to our production team coming in because I thought there was just no way that this trend would hold up. Tulsa averaging 90 points per game, WKU averaging 85. No team has ever scored at least 80 in this series in the previous 6 matchups. And here we are in a 25-24 game late in the first half.
Well, and your point may very well come true today. You know, and the thing about it is a couple of these games have been on neutral sites in tournaments and stuff like that. Tulsa's only played, this is only their 2nd time here at Diddle Arena.
Last time was back in 1995. Tulsa won that matchup. They've won 5 straight in this series. WKU won the first one. It's been all Tulsa since. Hilltoppers looking to get back in the win column. Haven't faced off since 2011. As we get back underway, it's Tegan Moore at the free throw line. Misses the first. Moore, as you referenced earlier, getting there with the best in the country. Averages 6.3 makes per game. That's 18th.
I know Boone had a couple attempts for WKU. Is this their 3rd and 4th attempts is all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, this game has been totally flipped on its head. Tulsa elite from 3-point range. WKU with a 5-3 edge from deep. WKU one of the best in the country in terms of getting to the free throw line. Tulsa has doubled them up in attempts so far at 8-4. Left corner 3. That one way off the mark. A rare miss of that magnitude from Riley. Up ahead. Boone wants it for WKU. Collects and scores.
Boy, that's a good catch by Boone. Hopefully he didn't slip and hurt himself there, but I mean, he was in a full run there and was able to control the ball and come to a complete stop and go up and lay it in. Good look by Keegan Moore, you know, because you talk about Mr. Do-It-All, Keegan Moore for WKU. He can shoot, he can run, handle the ball, he can get rebounds, go to the line. Very diversified player, but didn't play at all last year due to injury.
Down low, foul called as Cada went up to defend against Ian Smichael, the sophomore from West Palm Beach, American Conference all-freshman player a year ago for Tulsa. Had the 3rd most rebounds for any freshman in Tulsa history, averaging 4.5 per game. They've got a group of a bunch of guys in between 4 and 5. Nobody averages more than 5 for this Tulsa team.
I like that last interior bounce pass by the Tulsa players there, you know. Good way to be unselfish and deliver a nice pass. Allow your teammate to get fouled.
Michael, one of the few on this team that have struggled at the free throw line. Now 11 for 24 on the season. They're 7 for 9 as a team. WKU have attempted at least 20 free throws in every game. As we mentioned, only 4 tries so far. They're only 2-2 when they make less than their opponent. 5-1 when they make more. On the other side, though, Tulsa have made more or as many free throws as every team they've played this season. And that's just because they foul so little. Moore gets inside, another tough bank shot. He's had a handful of those early on.
Well, you've noticed, looks like Hank Pona has made a deliberate attempt to get Keegan Moore the ball and let him bring it up and start the offense.
He scored at least 20 points 4 times this season, including a career-high 27 in an overtime loss to South Florida in the Bahamas. Left corner, 3-pointer on the way. That one missed long off the hand of Dean. Here comes Boone with it the other way. Fires it up ahead. Myers was ahead of everyone. Now fires the 3, and he bangs it home.
He's hit a couple of those tonight. Very much under control. You know, he could have pulled the trigger on the first one, but decided to settle in and get a nicer look.
WKU had missed 5 straight shots. Now they've made 3 in a row. Ball knocked away. Cada has it to Myers.
Good help defensive there on Riley.
Just over 2 minutes to work with. Hilltoppers now up by 8. Boone defended by Dean, puts it on the floor and a bump called. Just the 5th foul against Tulsa. They do not foul very often, just 15 fouls per game. That's 31st in the country. They give up just 16 free throw attempts per game. That's the lowest number in the American Conference, which is more so why they tend to shoot more than the opponent versus how many they themselves shoot. As we get another look, not too much action there, but just enough to get the call.
Well, because he extended his hands.
Yeah.
They've been doing a great job using their body, and the referees have let him play through that. But this time he reached out with a hand, and that's why they called that.
Myers left side, steps back, double team comes, drops it off to Newell. He's got 9, turns, takes, fires, and hits.
Boy, Newell's got a high arcing shot, doesn't he?
Already into double figures with 11.
Well, he's a tough handle because of his size, and he has such a high release on his shot too. That's
it's
hard
that
to
wingspan that
it's
you
hard,
mentioned.
hard to defend.
WKU with a 35-25 lead. They're on a 7-0 run. The crowd coming to life here in Bowling Green. Right side drive for Rigsby, and there another one of those bumps called. And to what you referenced, if nothing else, this crew has been consistent in what they've called and what they haven't called.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what you don't mind from a player standpoint, but once again, he did extend that hand into his lower body area there. That's what caused the foul. But we go back down and see Newell's shot, that high arcer down on the baseline. That's just too hard to try to defend that one.
Newell spent a year at North Texas last season, started every game there after 2 years at Cal. Coming into this season, his career high in points per game was 8 points per game as a freshman at Cal. He's now averaging 10 per game with the Hilltoppers. This is the 7th time he's been in double figures, and I mentioned this earlier, the previous 6 all wins for WKU. As the first free throw falls through for Miles Rigsby. Transfer from Troy a couple years there. Led Troy last year in the NCAA tournament against Kentucky. Had 17 points, scored 20 in the Sun Belt Championship, the Sun Belt Tournament Championship game to even get him to the NCAA tournament. Has struggled to fully find his role, just 1 for 10 from 3-point range, but kind of a do-it-all player, 9.5 points, 2.5 boards, around 3 assists per game for the junior from Fort Worth. 35-27, minute 20 left in this opening half. Boy, it's been a fun one so far. Moore drives left side all the way to the rack, has it swatted away by Barron, came in with the help and made a perfect play with perfect timing. Numbers for Tulsa the other way. Green takes the 3, rattles off, and Moore was the late man back and hustled all the way down to get the rebound. In the corner, Simona wide open. Boone holds on to it anyways. Now goes out to Myers for 3. Missed it short, but Boone flies in and gets the putback to fall.
Boy, Boone doing a good job. That time he kept the ball high after he got the offensive rebound. Couldn't get knocked away.
You hear the term spark plug thrown around a lot, and he just embodies it. If you open up the basketball dictionary, you might see a picture of Armello Boone. Left side, Popola, tough look from 3 off the heel, no, but it's batted back out and Tulsa keeps it. Popola, extra pass, easy look from the left corner, and that one falls through off the hand of Rigsby, just his second 3-point make this season.
Good ball rotation by Poploza, finding the open man in the corner.
37-30 now. WKU have made 5 of their last 7 shots. Tulsa had missed 6 straight before that one. Hilltopper's going to hold for 1 here. With 5 seconds left, the action starts. Boone drives, takes the contact, no call, and that'll do it for the opening half. Hilltopper bench wants a foul. The Hilltopper faithful want one as well, as Boone is still down after the play. Was a good bit of contact, but a lot of that just comes from the fact that Boone gets so high up in the air. I think most of the pain came from the collision with the ground, Craig, rather than with the collision on the way up.
Yeah, it looks like it could have been that tailbone that got popped on the hardwood floor there. But yeah, he was very much off balance and came down pretty hard.
That'll be the thing to monitor for WKU. Coach Plona pleading his case. He absolutely wanted a foul call there with the official, as now he'll walk over to check on Boone as well. As the boos rain in.
Yeah, Hank Plona's not happy at all.
That really, the lone stain on this opening half for WKU. You erase that, it would have been a roar of applause to end this opening half for the Hilltoppers. As we take another look. Boone helped up now.
Yeah, it was kind of kind of a little bit of maybe some body contact, but it was more of, I think, Boone being more out of control than it was the Tulsa player.
Boone walks to the locker room. We'll see what his status is for the second half. WKU leading it 37-30 over Tulsa, looking to hand the Golden Hurricane just their second loss early on this season. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and I'm not just saying it because we've got great hoops here on the hill at WKU there. The great Hilltopper Sports Satellite Network team that helps us put on all of the broadcasts you see on ESPN Plus hailing from WKU. It's also a wonderful time if you're a WKU fan for a 37-30 halftime lead. Tulsa just the fourth time they've trailed at the half this year, 2-1 in the previous 3 games. For WKU, it's been the outside game early that really sparked things. Grant Newell 3 for 3 from deep in this one. Then it shifted to the inside game. Tegan Moore really taking things over, driving in, being physical as we're used to seeing WKU do. Tulsa eventually, after you mentioned it, Craig, missing their first 7 shots from outside, started it felt like, to heat up from deep. They made, as you saw there, a string of 3 3-pointers, but still just 4 for 19 from outside. And every time Tulsa would go on the run that you thought was going to swing this game in their favor, WKU had a run of their own to answer.
Exactly. And we did mention, too, that, you know, Tulsa, they did have some wide open looks that they just flat out missed.
And you can't expect them to miss those same looks in this second half. You know, a lot of what Hank Plona had to say during halftime, even with just 30 points given up on the board, I would still assume most of that conversation was focused on the defense rather than the offense.
Yeah, very much so, because that's kind of been his focal point over the last week and a half, 10 days, to focus on defense. And I thought Western Kentucky did a good job of really extending their presence, their arms out there. They've done some switching. They haven't done some switching. So they've kind of mixed it up in different areas.
The last thing you saw there, we'll see how much impact that has on this second half. Armello Boone going down in the final sequence of the opening half, driving to the basket, getting some contact. No call. Head coach Hank Plona was furious after the fact, and Boone was down for a good few minutes. He's up on the bench now. He's actually going to be the first guy sitting on the bench nearest to the scorer's table, wedged between the coaches, and then there's a sea of red with those pullovers and the rest of the players. So I don't know if that signals he's good to go or not. If nothing else, a good visual cue if you're a WKU fan as we get back underway with the Hilltoppers leading at 7 to start this second half. Barnstable, an immediate quick trigger 3. We said you can't expect Tulsa to miss those looks in the second half, and there's Barnstable with his first 3 of the ball game.
Yeah, good look for Barnstable. That had to be a focus coming out of the halftime.
Miles Barnstable averaging 14.5 points per game, their second leading scorer on the season. And there's the answer from Grant Newell. He's hit 4 threes. He's tried 4 threes. Ball goes up top to Green, to Barron. Step back off the screen. Missed it off the heel, and it's rebounded opposite side by Ryan Myers. Myers, 6 points so far with a couple of threes of his own. To Boyd up top, fakes the handoff. Trying to go somewhere with it, now gets it to Moore, guarded by Barnstable. Moore weighs everybody off, wants to isolate in the post game, tried to wrap it down low to a cutting Hackman, but it's knocked away. Barnstable all the way to the rack, had it tipped by Newell, rebounded down low by Barron. He has it knocked away again by Newell. Active hands, but it goes out of bounds to stay with Tulsa.
Yeah, kind of an odd looking play on both ends there. A lot of hands activity in there.
And it was actually Moore, I think, that got the block. He leads WKU out of the guard spot in blocks this season. Ball goes down low. Green isolated on Moore. Little bully ball as the grad transfer David Green drops it home for 2.
Good use of his body on the inside.
Newell goes up top to Moore, guarded by Popola. Gets around him on the left side, spins back right through traffic, shuffles it home.
That's just a tough shot by Tegan Moore, but that's what he's known for. He loves to drive the ball and spin back the opposite way, always leaning toward the basket.
Moore into double figures now with 11. He's been in double figures in 10 of WKU's 11 games. Barnstable thought about a 3, instead goes to Riley. Now into left corner, Green drives around, more help comes, but a bump is going to go against Tegan Moore trying to catch up. And again, all of those bumps have been called both ways in this game. Papola left corner, Green for three, swishes it home. A couple of makes from outside already in this half for the Golden Hurricane. Cuts it to a 4-point WKU lead. LJ Hackman holds it up top, scoreless so far with a couple of rebounds and an assist. Down low, Boyd into the body of Barron. Spins, keeps that pivot foot down, but tried to force it down low to Moore, and it's stolen away.
Yeah, not a good decision. You know, Boyd is not known for his offensive prowess.
Green gives it to Riley, then sets the screen. Moore switches on. Riley gets around him. It's blocked from behind. Are they going to get the goal 10? They do. They say that
this crowd didn't like that one. I thought that was good help defense by Boyd.
It was close of A, whether or not it was on the way down, or B, if it had hit the backboard yet.
It didn't hit the backboard. I don't think so.
It did not hit the backboard yet. Coach Plona looking, again, frustrated. And we mentioned if he's a little shy and showing his joy, he is not shy in showing his frustration. And there, I think, perhaps rightfully so. But it's a 2-point game. 42-40, Hilltoppers need an answer. They had so many in the opening half. Where do they find one here? More to ODI in the game for Boyd. Stuck in the corner now is Myers. Fired for three, that one way off the mark. Brian Myers wanted a foul, doesn't get the call. Here comes Papola. They can tie or take the lead. He wants the lead. He's got the lead. Hank Plona comes out 6 feet onto the floor to take a timeout. Tulsa on an 8-0 run early on in this second half, and just like that, the Golden Hurricane lead it by a point. They made 4 3-pointers in the opening half. We've played less than 4 minutes in the second half, and they've already knocked down 3 from outside. They've made all 4 of their shots, and the lead belongs to Tulsa. They came into this game matching their best start since the 1999-2000 season, and having made 10 or more threes in 8 of their 11 games along the way. That a big reason for those 10 wins out of the 11 to start the year. They only made 4 threes in the opening half. They come out to start the second half. Craig McCormick 3 for 4 from outside in just over 3 minutes.
Yeah, and they've been getting some good looks. Western's just not extending their defense like they did in the first half, allowing Tulsa to get some good looks.
Both teams now with 7 3-pointers made. Tulsa's tried 23 of them. Shooting 30% from outside, WKU at 41% from deep. But the Golden Hurricane riding a quick 8-0 run in just 1 minute and 15 seconds, lead at 43-42 as we get back underway. And great news for WKU as Armello Boone is back out there despite the hip injury before the halftime break, and immediately shakes off any effects of it to get to the rack and put WKU back in front. Boone now into double figures with 10 to hit his average on the season. Hilltoppers have 3 with 10 plus. Boone, Moore, and Newell, who leads the way with 14. Foul called. Again, Myers trying to work against Barnstable, constantly trying to spring himself open. That's a tough cover.
It is. He just got his feet tangled up over there.
So Cam Hafner will take his spot. Just the second foul for Myers. No foul trouble either side so far in this ball game. Riley holds it up top. He's got 10. Tied with Papola for the team lead for Tulsa. Driving right as Simona had to switch onto him off the screen. And Louis Simona, the transfer coming in from Stonehill, picks up the foul. And that'll take us to another timeout. Not much action there, but in the time we had, WKU able to break up the run, take the lead back 44-43 with 16 minutes left to go in this non-conference matchup. This game has been everything we hoped it could be so far. WKU leading Tulsa 44-43. As we take a look at the schedule coming up, Golden Hurricane have one more tune-up before they get to American Conference play on Monday as they host Denver at 2 o'clock. That game also on ESPN+. On the other side for WKU, the final game for the Hilltoppers before they get into Conference USA play. Immediately right into the fire with a very talented Jacksonville State team. Conference USA that has been better this year across the board than a lot expected coming into the season. A lot more parity and a bit more of a scrambling from what you would have been expecting the preseason rankings to be, with teams like MTSU really emerging with some signature non-conference wins early on, and WKU looking to pick up one of their own as we get back underway. Right side off the drive, Barnstable all the way to the rack. He's so lethal from outside, but quite the athlete. He's had a couple of times this season where he's been the top play from the American Conference for his high-flying antics. That time just lays it up safely, and Tulsa takes the lead back.
Well, and Barron did a good job of really creating that screen action for him.
Newell drives, gets contact. He turned over after the fact. He drew the foul, and he's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. But after the fact, he turned to Cam Hafner and said, "My bad, I should have hit you in the corner."
Yeah, because you know where Hafner's going to be. He's outside that three-point lane.
And another good job that time. It all started the initial penetration by Tegan Moore, who just continues to attack, and more often than not is making the right decision whether to try and score or dish it off.
Yeah, he draws a lot of attention because of his activity off the dribble.
Ryan Myers checks back in for WKU. Hafner quickly comes out. Free throw good for Newell. ODI, the lone big in there for WKU against Barron. Really the one true big that you'll see in this lineup for Tulsa. WKU rotates their 3 of ODI, Boyd, and Cada is down low. Barron draws the contact. Nice find that time from Barnstable, who very similarly to Moore, just a different part of the floor, has so much gravity with the attention that he brings to himself. Gets it outside, and immediately WKU brought that double, and Moore had no chance, or no choice but to foul against the much larger Barron.
Well, and Barron did a good job off that. He did a nice job of spinning and opening toward his teammate, so he was able to catch it, see the ball, and get it delivered to him.
Barron now 2 for 3 at the free throw line tonight. Just over 50% on the season. Tulsa 11 for 13 as a team. WKU still just 6 attempts. They've made 5 of them. Barron's second misses off the right side, and it's pulled down by Armello Boone. Quickly brings it across. Crossover dribble all the way to the rim. Can't scoop it in. Moore fighting for the rebound, and he's grabbed on the floor. They're going to call that one on David Green. There were 3 Golden Hurricane players down there, and Moore was the one that was able to draw the foul.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned earlier in the first half that he has that nose for the basketball there.
Inbound comes into Simona down low. Fading right hook, misses, and this time the rebound cleared by Barnstable. Sends it over on the right wing. Popola drives, gets around Newell all the way to the rim, left the layup short, and Boone comes in to get the rebound. Shovels it off to Simona. Drives, kicks, Myers for 3. Got it!
Good dribble and kick by Simona. Was that Myers' third 3 this game?
3 for 6 from outside. Ball deflected down low. It'll stay, or excuse me, it'll go to WKU.
Into the game for the Hurricanes, number 2, Galen Muller, and number 4, Miles Briggs.
Myers just gets it off the hand so fast. There is so little time from catch to shot.
Well, and then he's also a left-handed player, so the ball was on the outside, on the baseline side.
Moore will bring it across with his 11.7 rebounds. Leading WKU tied for the lead with his 3 assists as Boone gets inside. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Boone is just so wiry, isn't he? You know, he's not afraid to take it inside, gets knocked around some.
Coming to the line for the Hilltoppers.
Puts the ball up in different angles. Really not shooting it. It's more of he's just trying to lay it up there off the rim somehow.
Well, and for someone that we've seen put up so many highlight dunks, it's been a lot of finger roll action.
Yeah.
That foul called on Jaden Lawal. As the first free throw is good for Armello Boone.
Yeah, I don't think he's at that Gerving level yet.
Number 24, Leroy Odion.
Boone with 11 points, 5 rebounds just off the high of Moore and Newell.
That's another 10 foul.
Those three combined, Boone, Newell, and Moore, have 18 of the 25 rebounds in this game for WKU. Boone makes it a 5-point edge, knocked that one away. If it stayed inbounds, we might got one of those highlight reel SC top 10 plays, but it goes out on the far side, so Tulsa will keep it. That's one of those you can't help but get excited as the plane starts to leave the runway.
That's right. Yeah, he sniffed that one out.
Wall gets it in the backcourt. He's got a 3-pointer, 4 rebounds, couple assists in just 7 minutes. He's been efficient when he's been out there as he gets a bump called against Simona. Again, those calls, the crowd not happy, but every single time it's been the whistle.
Well, and what Simona did is he moved his feet, bodied him one time, and then brought his hands down and got him by the hip, and then bodied him again the second time. So there you see it there. Whenever you bring those hands down, put them on a player.
And the foul is going to be the exact same thing. If we could just take what you said and put it on repeat, that's exactly what the call was there as Rigsby was driving in. Once again, they go at Simona, and once again, those hands come down, and that's what the call comes in for.
Yeah. He's trying to act like he doesn't know why, but
he'll come out with his 3rd foul. Hackman back in for WKU. Boone guarding the inbound. It comes into Barnstable now outside Barron. Tries to pass it down low. It's knocked away and collected by Hackman under the basket. LJ Hackman will lead the break. Post up on the elbow, spins, flips it up with the right hand, couldn't bank it in. Rebound tipped out. Newell trying to save it behind his back and throws it somehow off the back of the backboard. And it'll go to Tulsa.
Well, Hackman, that was unusual for him. He doesn't shoot the ball much, but he was pretty aggressive on that one play.
Shot it a ton in his 2 years at Jones College, scored nearly 1,000 points in just those 2 seasons, but came to WKU and really has embraced his role as a defensive specialist, top 5 in Conference USA with nearly 2 steals per game. Doesn't have any tonight, no points in 9 minutes. Up top, 3-pointers fired up. That one missed long again off the hand of Green. And a foul is going to be called on Barnstable going for the rebound. At this point, both teams, I think, getting a little frustrated with the calls. We've already had 10 fouls called total in this second half.
I don't know if it was on Barnstable.
I think they actually got it from behind on Green. Barnstable was the one acting frustrated. I guess he was frustrated for his teammate. It was the second foul called on David Green, was the one that fired up the 3. He's 2 for 6 from outside. Off a screen, Myers shoots another 3. That one rattles off, rebound deflected, and the Wall comes up with it. Tulsa has numbers the other way, kicks it out left side, back to the Wall, fakes his, that was a really good job by Hackman to get back and defend. Here goes Green down the right side. Posted against Newell. This is where he's most comfortable. Wants to get to that left hand, forces the shot, missed it. He could have spun back right, but really wanted to get back to that dominant hand. Hackman cut off, kicks it out. Boone fakes, puts it on the floor, back outside. 3-pointer from Hackman. Rattles off, no. Rebound deflected, trying to save it as Boone as he dives into the crowd, but it goes to Tulsa. 5-on-4 the other way. Green all the way to the rack and finishes with ease.
It was too easy. It was a 4-on-5 situation for Tulsa.
Nobody picked up the ball.
No. And Boone was trailing the play after going after the loose one.
51-48. Hackman holds up top. Myers jabs. He's got 9 so far, and there that same foul call comes in. And once again, you see the hands thrown up by Barnstable. He's pleading his case with the official. If there's one thing that you can't say, you cannot say that it's been inconsistent, because it's been there every time. When that hand gets in there against the body, especially when you get a little elbow action, they're going to call that foul.
Yeah, extend that forearm. That's an easy call for the referee, you know. Players think it's different, but they've been pretty consistent here.
ODI holds it up top. Hafner back in for WKU. Dean out there defending for Tulsa. Ball goes into the corner. Myers gets inside, takes the bump, no call. Layup missed, and it's rebounded down low by the freshly checked in Ian Smichael. Lawal takes a screen from Smichael. He drives in, takes contact, and that time they're going to get the foul against Myers on the right elbow. And when we come back, 2 free throws will be on the way. Tulsa in the bonus for the rest of the way. We said this earlier. They have made more or as many free throws as every team they've played so far this season on the way to this 10-1 start they come in with. WKU looking to play spoiler, leading it by 3. The icon itself, Big Red, sporting its holiday gear as we're getting closer and closer to Christmas and New Year's here in Bowling Green and across the country, wherever you're joining us from. Our holiday present to you is a highlight reel you never would have expected to see, and that's a highlight reel of fouls, because that's what we've been treated to here in this game in the second half. 12 fouls called, and so many of them similar fouls, just bumps on different drives. I think the expression there from Hank Plona sums up how all of us are feeling about it. I'd mentioned earlier in the second half that neither team was really dealing with any foul trouble, and now fast forward, WKU has 4 different players with 3 fouls, including 2 of their starters, both in the backcourt, and Ryan Myers and Tegan Moore. Only 1 player with 3 fouls for Tulsa, but that being an important piece in Miles Barnstable, and how appropriate that we get back underway out of the timeout with free throws from Jaden Lawal, who knocks down the first of his 2. Tulsa now 12 for 15 at the free throw line. WKU just 8 attempts, but they've made 7 of them as the second one comes off a bit flat, misses short, and the Hilltoppers still lead it by 2. Moore sends it over on the left side to LJ Hackman. Got the start at point guard tonight, WKU. If you missed it, still without Terrion Murdix, will be out until at least January as Tegan Moore slices through with an acrobatic finish to score it off the glass.
Nice controlled drive by Tegan Moore.
He's now got 13. He's 6 for 8 on his 2-point field goal tries. Hackman nearly knocks it away on the far side, but it's collected by Miles Rigsby. Takes a screen from Smichael, goes all the way in, takes the contact, scores it. Smichael falls on him after the fact for his troubles. I don't think he's going to get the extra foul called against his own teammate.
No.
But he'll get a free throw after the fact anyways.
But boy, nice drive here. A little extra hang time.
When you mentioned the
Draws
control
the contact,
on the other end from Tegan Moore, that time you get it from Rigsby.
Yep.
Just a nice patient attack, goes right into the body of ODI and can make it a 1-point game with the free throw. Rigsby, we said it earlier, bit of a do-it-all player, averaging just under 10 points, nearly 3 rebounds, 3 assists per game. Misses that free throw, but has 7 points. Left side, Cam Hafton wide open for 3. Around the world and out. Here comes Rigsby the other way in a 2-point game. They've got a huge size mismatch down low with Smichael. Hafner trying to seal him off. They haven't been able to get it to Smichael yet. And now WKU able to switch it. On the left side, beautiful drive and dish, as Lawal was the one to make the play to Smichael. After all of that, he still ends up with the bucket off the beautiful dive from Lawal, and we're tied up at 53.
Yeah, Newell realized him and Hafner switched. Newell was trying to take the bigger player, but then had to come over and help.
Newell wide open right corner. Give him another one. Newell.
Fantastic game so far for Newell.
5 for 5 from 3-point range. And WKU takes the lead back, 56-53. Tulsa have made their last 3 shots. Wraps it out left corner. Dean fakes the 3, now they work it down low. Again, it's the big man, and this time drawing the foul is Ian Smichael. Went right at Newell.
I think some fans here at Dill Arena were looking for a little shuffle on that, little shuffle of the feet here. See if he actually did it. Kind of an awkward looking shot.
It's one of those where the entire goal is to draw contact and hope you get a foul.
Yeah.
Smichael able to do exactly that. 1 for 2 at the free throw line tonight. 12 for 25 on the season. Gets the friendly roll off the back iron on the first. Tulsa percentage-wise one of their worst free throw percentage performances of the season, and that's saying a lot about how good they've been because they're still shooting 72%, 13 for 18. Second one misses, and it's a 2-point game. Tegan Moore brings it up, shouting instructions to Newell, right side, trying to slam it home with 2 hands, but found by Pompola. The 5'8" or the 6'5" guard jumped up to keep up with the 6'9" Newell. And it was a close play, but got enough of it for them to call the foul.
Yeah, Newell did a good job of filling that opposite side lane, and give credit to Tegan Moore for keeping his head up as he's coming down the court looking for his teammate. I think Newell had something else in mind. I think he was going to try to take it to the rim, wasn't he?
First free throw misses for Newell. He's now 2 for 3 at the stripe. It would have been assist number 5 for Tegan Moore to tie his career high that he's hit 3 times already. He's really stepped up as a facilitator. We've mentioned the absence of Murdix a couple of times. That big because he, by far and away, the best passer on this WKU team, 6th in Conference USA in assists this season. And it's really been Moore that's filled that void. As WKU pushes that lead out 57-54, both teams split a pair of free throws, and the Hilltoppers now in a 2-3 zone defensively. Lawal lobs it up and it's slammed home with 2 hands. That's how you beat a zone. Hello, Roman Dean. I don't know how much more we'll see of that 2-3 zone. Newell sends it over to Hafner. Myers pops off a screen to get at the top of the key. Back to Hafner. And he's bumped again. There's the call.
Yep. Who I'm looking for Tulsa that I haven't seen in a little while is Kylan Riley.
We saw that in the first half. He got off to that hot start, scored 4 points in the first couple of minutes, and sat for a long time in that opening half. He's only played 18 minutes in this game, only averages around 24 minutes per game. Was up over 30 their last time out against New Mexico State in what was one of the more competitive games they've played, and they still won it by 13 on Saturday. This, in fact, the third of the last 4 games that Tulsa's played against a Conference USA team. Started the stretch with Missouri State. Hafner.
You'd think Coach Conkle, is liking what he's getting out of Lawal out here handling the ball at this point without going to Riley.
59-56 now. Hafner up with it defensively to Newell. Takes the bump, adjusts midair, missed the layup. Cada has the rebound, and then he's fouled down low. Will be just the 8th and 9th free throw attempts of the season for Blaze Cada. Hailing from Molly, spent a couple years at Coffeyville Community College, 2 at Nebraska. They're hacked on the arm, it looked like by Lawal. A couple of guys in the area.
Here comes Riley into the game. We just mentioned that, and here he comes.
Think Coach Conkle heard you?
Yeah.
Cada's free throw, good.
Good looking free throw by Cada.
Making 3 for 8 on the season from the free throw line. Just averaging 1.5 points, 2.5 rebounds per game. Had been the starting center for WKU for most of the season. They go to Boyd tonight after the career game against Campbellsville. Last time out with 13 points and 7 rebounds. And Cada makes both free throws. They get 61-56 WKU, and the Diddle Arena crowd on their feet. This the loudest this place has been tonight. Riley drives right side. Trap comes. Cada all over him. Spins through, has it blocked, but a foul. Would have been just the second block of the season for Cada. But instead called for the foul from behind. And Cada now with his 4th foul sends Riley to the line for 2.
Yeah, the crowd here is thinking that Riley got bailed out. Maybe a walk in there too, but that's the home crowd for you.
Riley, an 87% free throw shooter on the season, makes the first of these 2. Had that career high 29 against New Mexico State in their last game on just 9 field goal attempts. Went 13 for 13 at the free throw line, 4 for 5 from 3-point range. And with that free throw, has already eclipsed the number of free throws that he took last year, all of last season. And as the second falls through, he silences the crowd for a moment and cuts the lead to 3. The freshman Boone brings it across. Left elbow Tegan Moore into the corner. Newell, catch and shoot, and make! What else would you expect? He's 6'4", 6".
Well, and there's no hesitation by Newell also.
Barnstable can't answer. Here comes Boone the other way. Armello Boone in transition, steps through, wild drive, and gets the blocking foul call. Boone there, I think, a bit fortunate. He was out of control, but the defender was as well.
Coming to the line for the Hilltoppers, number 12.
They get that one against Riley.
Yeah, just didn't establish any kind of position there. This Boone is a high energy, high pace type of guy.
12 points, 8 rebounds. A steal and a block as well. He's tied his career high in the boards department that he just set against Campbellsville in WKU's last game Monday. Misses the first of the potential 2 free throws with the 1-and-1, and here comes Tulsa back the other way. Green stops, now sends it outside and they'll reset. Riley up top. He's got 12 points. 5 for 9 from the floor. Crowd comes to life. Shot clock at 10. Riley whips it cross court. Green catch and shoot. Missed it long, and Newell skies in to clear the board. Newell, quick setup dribble, trying to get it to Tegan Moore, gives it to him driving baseline, lost it, trying to get to the rim, double team down low, forces up the shot, misses the first try, and it's cleared away by Green.
Good defensive presence by Tulsa there.
Great job by David Green not to foul. Green gets it up top, puts it on the floor, goes into the body of Moore and finishes with the right hand. Tough offhand finish for Green. He gets it done on both ends, and the lead is 4. Boy, what a game this has been. And we still got 7 minutes left.
Yeah, this is kind of the pace that we were looking for in the first half that wasn't there.
Moore backing down Popola. WKU isolates him on that side. Coming in to help is Riley. He knocks it away, and Moore fouls.
Yeah, he just wrapped his arms around Riley.
The pace is picked up for both sides. WKU plays as fast as anybody in the country. Tulsa likes to keep things slow and efficient, but they have matched the pace here in this second half. The Hilltoppers have the edge, but not enough for comfort, leading at 64-60, under 7 minutes left to go. WKU leading Tulsa, 6:49 left to go in the ball game. The Hilltoppers led by the second city shooter hailing from Chicago, Illinois, Grant Newell. 6 for 6 from three-point range in this ball game. Give him a career high of 23, breaking his previous high mark of 21 all the way back in his freshman season at Cal. And it has all been no hesitation, catch and shoot.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. It's a catch and shoot for him. He's in a groove, and congratulations on the career high.
Double-digit score of 4 straight games to open the season. Had done so in just 2 of the last 6 games. WKU coming in at 7-3 on the season. In those 3 losses, Newell scored a grand total of 13 points. They're 6-0 coming into tonight when he scores in double figures as Riley gets the first free throw to go. He now leads the Golden Hurricane alone with his 13 points. He's 3 for 3 at the free throw line. Second one good as well. Give him 14 on 9 shots. Has only played 20 minutes, but I've got a feeling he's going to play about 7 more. As this thing gets down the stretch, WKU leading it by 2. Myers gets to the left wing, now goes up top to Hafner. No Tegan Moore right now for WKU with his 4 fouls. Tries to go to Hafner, wild pass, Newell gets it back though. 8 on the shot clock. Newell wraps inside, stops underneath, and he's fouled from behind. Stopped on a dime and got Green in the air.
Yeah, good pump fake by Newell. Realized that the defender was trailing him and was able to create the contact. Yeah, once when he turned here,
To the line for the Hilltoppers.
Took a pretty good shot.
So Newell will take his 5th and 6th free throws, 3 for 4 at the stripe, 7 for 10 from the floor overall, 6 for 6 from outside. Misses the first of these two. WKU have started to even up the free throw discrepancy.
You think Newell needs to step back a few more feet on his foul attempts? Get back behind that three-point line?
I don't think he'd mind it the way that he's shooting tonight. Gets the second one to go and bumps that career high up to 24. I've seen players shoot free throws in stranger ways. And it's now a 3-point edge for WKU. Barnstable trying to get open. Tata switches on to him, bumps, and I'm going to be honest, it's probably a good foul, as wide open down low was Barron. It's not a good foul if you're Blaze Keita. That's his 5th overall, so he's out. It saves 2 points, at least in theory. The only issue is Barnstable on the season, a 27 for 29 free throw shooter. So one of those, if you're in a position outside of having the 4 fouls already, probably a smart one to grab. But instead, Keita done for the night. And WKU going to go small here as Simona comes in alongside Newell in the front court, 2 outside players, while Tulsa still has Barron in there. They bring Green out, which plays a bit to WKU's edge there, and I guess I'll take responsibility for the broadcaster's jinx late on that first free throw for Barnstable.
No doubt. Yeah, when Riley and Barnstable shoot foul attempts, they don't even put anybody on the line. That's Tulsa.
Second one goes through, and it's 65-63. Quiet night for Barnstable.
You know, what's interesting is they go to Coach Plona goes to Simona here instead of going back to Boyd, who started the game. Boyd's not an offensive characteristic, doesn't have that, where Simona brings some offensive capability.
Newell attacks. One in contact, didn't get the call. Boone knocks it away, but to no avail. Here comes Riley sprinting the other way. He lost it in transition, and up with it is Hackman, who wisely just put 2 elbows around it and gives it off to Myers. Left side, Simona for 3. Got it!
I think that's what Hank Plona was looking for. Make sure he had some offense out there.
68-63, WKU leads. Right side denying the 3 is Rigsby. Instead wraps it over on the left side to Popola. To Barron. Gets it back. Catch and shoot 3, and there's the answer from Ade Popola.
Tough shot.
Third make from outside for him. He's got 13 points, 1 off the team high, 14 from Riley. 68-66. WKU up by 2. They've got this 5-man perimeter lineup out there right now. Newell spearheading the offense, fakes, goes back to his left, fires it up with the left hand, wild shot, well defended by Barron, but Boone knocks it away from behind. Newell up with it, he's going to keep it himself and lays it in with the left hand. Do they get the foul from behind?
Yeah, a little push down low.
Newell smiling after the fact. He said, that's the easiest and one I've ever had. I don't think he'll complain about it. Just a little contact from behind. I don't know if they got it for that or the swipe around from Rigsby. Either way, all Newell could do afterwards was grin.
Yeah, it was just a little bump in that lower back area. But I think Newell had something else in mind when he kind of looked back after catching the ball, that he was going to go up and try to slam it home.
Swings the free throw in. 27 points for Grant Newell. And it's 71-66 WKU. Right side, Riley, guarded by Simona. Nice cut, holding on to it is Rigsby. He's fouled, count it, and 1. The response from Miles Rigsby. This, just a top-tier heavyweight fight.
Nice slip by Rigsby to get himself open.
This is just right hook after right hook. Who is going to land the last blow? We've got 4.5 minutes to find out. Tulsa now have made 7 of their last 9 shots. WKU keeps finding a way to answer. As Rigsby's free throw doesn't get the bounce. The Golden Hurricanes surprisingly leaving points at the line. That was the story in their lone loss against Kansas State. went 21 for 29 at the free throw line. Still a good percentage, but Kansas State went 19 for 21 in a 1-point Wildcat win. Boone down low, misses it long off the glass. Here comes Tulsa, trailing it by 3. Rigsby controls. Attacks Simona. Now sends it outside. Catch and shoot, Popola. Bang! Tie ball game.
Just too good of a look for Popola on that possession.
His season high was 14. He's got 16 now. Highs being set on both sides. Off the screen. Wide open Hackman. Instead, the extra pass. Finally one off the mark from Newell. And a foul called against Simona will send Tulsa to the free throw line. Double bonus situation. 2 at the stripe upcoming in a 71-71 ball game. 27 points from Grant Newell, a career high, a season high from Ade Popola on the other side. We're all square with under 4 minutes left to go. Somebody's going to have to break through. All square at 71. Tulsa with 2 free throws coming up as we get back underway after the break. Tyler Eaton and Craig McCormick with you. As this run for Tulsa has been sparked by the hot hand of Ade Popola, a season high for the JUCO transfer, rated as the number 7 transfer from the JUCO level by rivals coming out of Moberly Area Community College. Been in double figures 6 times now on the season, scored 12 in their last time out against New Mexico State. He's 4 for 6 from outside, and we talked, Craig, off air before the broadcast about the magic number for Tulsa being 10. If they make 10 3-point shots, it's going to be tough for WKU to win this game. Granted, the Hilltoppers 11 for 25 from outside, but Tulsa now up to 9 makes from deep.
Exactly.
First free throw missed, though, for Popola. He'll have a second.
Yeah, and you've hit on this before. I mean, they're 8 of 15 now in the second half from the free throw line.
18, now make it 19 for 28 for the ball game. But they now have the lead with a second free throw, 72-71. Moore back in for WKU with his 4 fouls. Newell's driving right side, goes right to the body of Barron, kicks it out right corner, Boone for 3. Around and out, rebound tipped out, last touch they say by Tegan Moore. Moore has tied his career high with 9 rebounds. Boone has set a career high with 9 rebounds. Either one would get their first career double-double with another. But I think they'd much rather have the win right now, trailing it by 1. Hilltoppers 23-5 under head coach Hank Plona when leading at the 5-minute mark left in a game. That was the case in this one. Riley, step back 3. No good, and Newell clears the board for WKU. He's got 8 boards. Newell brings it across. Dishes it off. Tegan Moore gets the switch. He's got the mismatch against the big man Barron. Goes right into his body. There's that bump foul called, and Tegan Moore will go to the line for 2 free throws. Both teams in the double bonus for the final 2:55.
Well, you knew at the last break that Coach Plona had to get Tegan Moore back in, even though he has the 4 fouls, but he needs them in this crunch time. Tegan's just a very heady player, able to just keep his dribble going, constantly trying to put contact pressure on the defender.
First free throw swishes through for Moore. He's now got 14 points. Just his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts.
Yeah.
Getting there over 7 times per game. Makes both, though, and the Hilltoppers take back the lead, 73-72. Just a pendulum right now, swinging back and forth. Riley controls up top. Hackman on him. Hackman picks up defensively on the left side against the sharpshooting Barnstable. Now they go to Barron with a give and go. Riley gets it back. Screen set. Riley at the free throw line. Kicks it out right corner. Clean look for 3. Misses off the front iron, and Boone comes in to get the rebound in his first career double-double. Behind the back dribble. Lost it. Newell collects it. Back out to Boone. Fakes the 3, and they're going to reset with Tegan Moore with 2:20 left to go.
See Coach Plona directing players on what he wants on this particular set.
The 6'5" redshirt sophomore from the Bluegrass State in Dry Ridge, Kentucky. Gives it to Boone, another Kentucky native. The freshman jabs, fires. Off the right side, Hackman gonna pick up the foul, contesting for the rebound from behind. And 2 more free throws are on the way for the Golden Hurricane. We'll see who they tab to shoot. Let's get another look here at who he bumped into. Looked like, if anything, it was probably Riley, and that your worst case scenario. If you're WKU, Riley 4 for 4 at the free throw line tonight, and he'll stand there at the stripe and bury the first.
Well, you mentioned he was, 13 for 13 in his last outing from the foul line.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, he is a sweet shooter from there. Good rotation.
Makes both. He's got 16 points now, and Tulsa takes the lead back, 74-73. Right side, Newell drives against Barron, pulls it out to the three-point line, fires, missed it long, rebound tipped around, and it's pulled down by Riley. That a tough possession for WKU. And the Golden Hurricane can pad this lead with a minute and a half left to go. Coach Pono claps on his guys as his bench comes to life, and so does the crowd. Screen set for Riley, drives against Hafner, gets him in the air, ripped away by Newell. Ball being fought for on the baseline. They say out of bounds. Newell had his hand on it, or he was the one that must have hit the baseline, because it's going to stay with Tulsa.
Yeah, it was hard to tell what was going on down on the baseline.
Great job by Hafner to poke that out without fouling, as Newell there did have possession and he was out of bounds. That's the right call.
Exactly.
Shot clock at 11. Riley will inbound. Don't be surprised if he gets it back quickly. Hackman guarding him. Barnstable gets it in the right corner to Barron. Takes the handoff to Riley, instead goes down low. Green against Moore, defends without fouling, and Newell gets the rebound.
That was a good offensive execution running the play by Tulsa that time, but they just couldn't finish. Green
got exactly what they wanted.
Yeah. Good post up.
Moore against Barron. WKU has what they want. Goes back up to Boone. Jabs, crossover dribble all the way to the rack. Misses with the right hand. Moore tips it back to Boone, and he floats it in. WKU leads them by a point. Timeout taken with 52 seconds left to go.
Well, that's what you have to get this time. This point in time in the game is extra possessions. You got to find them any way you can. That time Tegan Moore was able to keep it alive, get it to Boone.
They give that rebound officially to Boone. I thought they might give it to Tegan and give him his double-double. Instead, Boone now with 14 points, 11 rebounds, his first career double-double, and with points 13 and 14 gives WKU a 75-74 lead. WKU with a 13-7 edge in second chance points. A Hilltopper team that has been so reliant on their bench this season, 38.6 bench points per game, tops in Conference USA, 11th in the country. Have gotten almost all of it from the starting lineup. Just 24 points off the bench for WKU, only 21 for Tulsa. It's been the starting five both ways. But WKU with Hafner in there off the bench as they've gone to this small ball lineup, no big. Let's see how they defend out of the timeout. Barnstable trying to spring open. He's going to fire over two defenders and switch it home right in the eye of Hafner.
Boy, they knew exactly what they wanted to get on that possession. And that was Barnstable coming off that high screen.
The senior from Wisconsin earned his stripes at UW Whitewater, goes to St. Thomas, was a first-team Summit League player last season, comes here to Tulsa and has been one of the premier sharpshooters in the American Conference so far this season, was just 1 for 4 from 3 before that make. And with that shot has made multiple three-pointers in every game as the Golden Hurricane hit that 10 three-pointer mark once again. 9 times in 12 games they've done that as a team. None perhaps bigger than that one to give the Golden Hurricane a 77-75 lead with 41 seconds left to go.
Well, and on that possession too, Hafner was in charge of staying with Barnstable, where we've seen for WKU that Hackman has been on Barnstable most of the night, but not on that possession. And Hackman had done a great job on Barnstable keeping them quiet.
Here we go. Boone brings it across. Hafner comes to get it top of the key. Now to Tegan Moore. They'll run the offense through him. Hafner springs off a screen from Newell. Hafner for three! There's the answer! Timeout taken. 78-77 WKU. Hafner said, you put one in my eye. How about I spot one back?
Yeah, he didn't waste any time at all pulling up. I think he had shot 3 other attempts from 3 tonight. That was his first make. But boy, did he go up confidently in that shot. We've seen some good execution here down the stretch by both ball clubs.
Yes. You said it earlier, it was the inbounds play, the miss from Green kind of started this stretch of what has been perfect play call after perfect play call. WKU now out of timeouts. That's certainly worth noting here with 28 seconds left to go. Tulsa's got a couple. If they get into some trouble on this possession, the arrow also favors WKU. If there's a tie-up, double bonus both ways just to set the scene for you. WKU now with 12 three-pointers made in this ball game. They've made 2 more than the Golden Hurricane after, how about this, Craig, coming into this game, yet to make more threes than a Division I opponent this season. And they're doing it against Tulsa, one of the country's best three-point shooting teams.
Something just hasn't lined up totally about this whole game. A lot of the theme just never really played out until here at the end.
And we still may not even get 80 points. This is the seventh game in this series. You see it there. Never has a team scored 80. We still might not get it. But what are we going to get, in fact, over these final 28 seconds? Thank you for joining us. It's been such a fun one. As you're pointing over here to note, there the big man presence comes in for WKU with Leroy Odi. He will be matched up down low against the Big Baron. Here we go. Riley brings it across to Barnstable, then gets it back left wing. Up top to Green. More on him with 4 fouls. Barron tries to hit a cutting Popola. Nearly lost it. Back outside. Barron. He's going to take the 3. Missed it short. Boone gets the rebound. Found between 2 defenders.
And I'm going to go back to on this possession, Coach Plona put Hackman back over on Barnstable to deny him that possession.
And brought in ODI to match up with Barron, who dared him to take the three-pointer in that spot. The 6'10 junior, fresh off 5 years in the U.S. Navy, takes the dare. I don't think he's going to turn down a spot like that. And now Armello Boone has 2 free throws. First one gets the bounce.
That's another $10 for helping Champion program.
Boone, 15 points, a career-high 12 rebounds. 5 for 6 at the free throw line, the freshman sensation, multiple-time Conference USA Freshman of the Week. Rattles home the second.
There's your 80.
But is it enough to win the game?
We'll see. It's a 3-point edge at the moment.
Nobody had hit 80 in this series. Will both teams hit it tonight? 10 seconds to go. Riley brings it across. He's fouled. Collides with the official. He tried to force up the shot as the contact came. They're going to say no. WKU chooses to foul up 3. Coach Conkle pleading his case. For now, it's just going to be a foul on the floor with 5.8 seconds left to go.
And that
Officials having none of it.
yeah, the referee that was right there on the play, he's the one that took the brunt of this contact with the Riley coming into him.
And now the question becomes, with the 2 timeouts left, if you're Tulsa, do you opt to try and have Riley make both, or do you do the dice roll of an intentional miss on the second? First one falls through. And quickly substitutions are going to come in the form of Grigsby and Dean.
And as you mentioned earlier, Tyler, WKU does not have any timeouts.
2 timeouts remain for Tulsa. And with those subs, you would think they're going to try to go for a make and a quick foul here.
Yeah, they're going to play through on it.
They took out Barron and Green, the post presence. Riley's free throw good. No timeout called yet. We'll see how quick they can foul. Moore to inbound, gets it into Newell. Barnstable bumps him, clock burns to 4.1 seconds left as Grant Newell, sporting a career high already with 27 points, will look to add 2 more and pad this WKU lead with under 5 seconds remaining.
I like what Coach Plona did on that is he's got Tegan Moore as the inbounder on that. You know, Tegan makes great decisions and everything, was able to find Newell pop into the corner over here. So, you know, you got to get your best playmakers making the right decisions at the right times.
Riley comes down to direct his 2 guys, Barnstable and Popola, and now joins them on the block around Newell. First free throw, no good. And that changes everything. WKU now going to fill the box. You can't intentionally foul in this spot. Going to have to play out these final. Now, and they noticed as well, 5.2 seconds. They put 1.1 back on the clock.
Well, what you might do is bring the ball up quickly to half court. Coach Conk will take a quick timeout.
Newell's second. Swishes it home. And Coach Kunkel's going to go ahead and take 1 timeout. If you want to, you could take one here and then advance it and take another one.
Exactly.
We'll see what he opts to do. 5.2 seconds remaining, so it turns out from that previous inbound. Great job by Tulsa not letting anything hardly come off the clock in that situation. 81-79, WKU leading Tulsa. Newell has expanded his career high to 28 points. WKU 19 for 24 at the free throw line. Tulsa, if they ultimately lose this game, this is going to be the number that gets them 23 for 32 at the stripe for a team that has shot nearly 80% on the season. Now the question becomes, who do you go to? Is it Popola, who has been the hot hand for so much of this game with 17 points? Riley now leads them with the 18. He's been their leader this season, their leading scorer on the year.
Well, you would think that they're going to obviously get it into Riley's hands. He can advance the ball fairly quickly coming up here, but he's not a three-point shooter. You know, he's not going to pull up. If anything, he'll try to get inside, create some contact. If he gets denied there, then maybe a quick kick out for 3.
Normally a great three-point shooter, 62% on the season, only 21 attempts, but he's 0 for 4. He's been forcing it tonight from outside. Popola's going to be the inbounder. He's trying a Hail Mary. Finally gets it in. Riley's got to go to the length of the court, calls a timeout at half court with 2.4 seconds left.
I think what they were really trying to do was try to get a pass to half court. Western Kentucky was denying all of that. They really didn't have set up any screens or really trying to bust anybody loose. They were just kind of got discombobulated back here in the front court and never really popped anybody open, and then had this desperation throw in. They lost a little over 2.5 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, there were over 5 seconds left before that sequence. They wanted to do exactly what we talked about. Get it to half court, take that second timeout, draw something up. Instead, it just goes off. If you're looking in football terms, you just dump it off to the running back and let him get as much as he could.
You know,
check down option there.
But now you bring the ball here to half court, and you can run some action down low and look for Barnstable popping off of a screen down low. Who else?
You've got to guard everybody.
Popola has been excellent here in the second half, shooting from 3 too.
And you've got to guard whoever the inbounder is. We've seen multiple times. They like to use the inbounder in some quick action off a screen. We'll see if they go back to Barnstable. We saw that design play earlier off an inbound. And WKU is going to leave ODI in. They're going to go with the 2 bigs, ODI and Newell, Boone, Moore, and Hackman, the guards. Barnstable, Popola, as well as Riley, surrounding Barron and Green. Popola, the inbounder, on the near side. Boone will guard him. Got to imagine he's going to be doing some jumping jacks. 2.7 to go. Popola gets it into Green. Jumps, passes, 3. Barnstable wins it for the Golden Hurricane at the horn.
And they had Hackman over there, but Byron's just set a heck of a screen over there to take Hackman out of the play, open it up for Barnstable. and he just nailed another one. We saw him with about 2 minutes to go in this game. He nailed one. This was an excellent play call because the Tulsa player caught the ball in midair, came down. That was Green that threw it to Barnstable there.
This game became a chess match late of set plays back and forth. I called it a boxing match earlier. Who would throw the knockout blow? Ultimately, it's Coach Conkle and the clutch hand of Miles Barnstable.
Yeah, and Coach Plona is over there talking about Byron, the screen he set. He really took out Hackman over there. That's one of the issues that Coach Plona is talking to the referees about. I think they're trying to see if there's any time left.
That's the discussion, and it's going to be 3/10. So in theory, if you're WKU, now this is going to be full length of the court. There's time for a catch and a heave. They say 3/10 is what you need. So WKU is going to have a chance to answer. Barnstable's buzzer beater on a hold. Hackman will be the one to inbound. Right now, everybody in the front court for WKU as Boone comes behind half court. Everybody back for Tulsa. Now Green's going to come up. He's going to come off the floor. Nobody's covering Boone.
No, and I like this. What Tulsa's doing is they put Barron, one of their tallest players, and look who WKU has thrown the ball in. Hackman, one of the shortest players out there. So
Hackman going to have to just heave it. Just chucks it up into the front court. Jump ball knocked out of bounds. Who else but Miles Barnstable with .2 left now. Not enough to get a shot on a catch and shoot. We'll see if they're going to review this, and now they're going to wave it off. They're going to say there was no chance that play took less than 3/10 because
correct, yeah.
Any sequence that happens
has
it
to
take that.
Yeah, it did touch a player. So
the clock tried to save 2/10 as it does hit the hand of Barnstable, who sent it into the crowd.
Yeah, smart play on his part versus just tapping it. He intentionally knocked the ball out of bounds, but .3, there's no time to do anything else.
Miles Barnstable, the hero. He makes the winning three. The winning play after the fact was quiet for so much of the night. Then 2 threes down the stretch to lift Tulsa to make it an 11-1 start to the season. Now the longest winning streak of head coach Eric Conkle's career, 8 straight. The Golden Hurricane have won as they go up to greet the fans that have made the trip from Tulsa to support their guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, the last 3 minutes of this ball game lived up to the billing because there was play after play after play, execution on both ends of the floor offensively. So, you know, that was exciting. Of course, the home crowd is disappointed by this, but give credit to Tulsa. The players stepped up when they needed to, made the right plays, right decisions. So, and Barnstable, 2 big threes in the last couple minutes.
Ade Papola, he's the player of the game, was really the one. We had the late game heroics from Barnstable, but it was really Papola there in the second half who even gave them a chance. You see the efficiency there, 4 for 6 from 3-point range, really sparked the offense when nobody else could get anything going.
Well, he really gave them that spark. You know, Tulsa, they only led in this game maybe a total of 3 minutes, 2 minutes in the first half, and then they took the 1-point lead there. Then it went back and forth. So, but he was a big part of that clawback. Tulsa was down 7 at half, 37-30, and you know, so therefore they had 52 points here in the second half. So that was more on their pace, more on their level.
Only 4 minutes and 35 seconds. They lead this game, but most importantly, they lead it for the final 0.3 of a second after the three-pointer off the hand of Barnstable. He finishes with 12. Tylen Riley leads the way with 18 points for the Golden Hurricane. 28 points, a career high on the other side for Grant Newell for WKU. Armello Boone with 16, Tegan Moore with 15 in double figures. Boone with a double-double with 12 rebounds to go along with his 16 points. Newell and Moore both the rebound off the double-double. For WKU, you get everything but the win, it feels like, in this game.
Yeah, there was a lot of good on their end, but you know, Tulsa came in here and earned this victory.
Tulsa moves to 11-1 on the season as they get set to wrap up non-conference play next week. WKU into Conference USA play after the holidays. For my partner Craig McCormick, our entire ESPN Plus crew, I'm Tyler Eaton. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Conference USA Basketball.